How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Is It a Buy, where we talk about stocks and try to determine if they are worth a buy or maybe a pass. My name is Corey. I'd just like to preface the video by saying I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who likes to talk about stocks, so please take what I say with a grain of salt. All right, excuse me, guys. I'm freaking trying to chew on some food. Actually had a buddy of mine. He called and he said, I guess he had a guest in his car. He said that his friend like knew who I was, and he's in GameStop and AMC and stuff. And it was surreal, you know. It's just too cool how like we're just intertwined, you know. This affects so many people, and something like this just bringing everyone together. I mean, it's just too cool. It really is like so cool to be a part of this, and people hearing about it, and whenever people want to talk about like AMC or GameStop or whatever's going on, if they need it explained, or they have a friend on, they're like, can you explain this really quick? And then I explain it to like their family or friend, whoever it is. And you know, it's definitely very, very cool. But welcome, guys. You know, I hope you guys all had a fantastic weekend. Lee, what is up? Edward. First calling out first. What's up, David Johnson? What's up, Captain Cash? Diamond, I've been thinking about you. It's looking good. It looks like Diamond has a setup right for tomorrow, for Tuesday, 10D Tuesday. Look, it's looking real good for Diamond. But take a look, guys. Let's take a look at AMC really quick. It looks like we were up 14.8% on the day. All right, 14.8% on the day. And the after hours currently up just over 1.5%. As we talked about, right? We talked about this on Friday. Here's the deal. I know Friday was a little bit rough, right? There was a lot going on. Kind of a I don't want to say heavy, you know, feeling a little bit heavy, I would say, with everything going on. But you know what? We are still sitting very, very pretty. And I think a lot of people were worried about some kind of stare down, right? So step down, you know, bounce for a sec, step down, bounce for a sec, step down. But you know what? We held this level of support right here, as we did anticipate we would. And on top of that, we had this little wedge, you know, bull flag forming, and we broke through bullishly on this bull flag. Now, I don't think we're out of the water just yet, but 10D Tuesday is freaking coming. We'll see what happens. It does look like we have a small level of resistance. You know, kind of tricky to see. I'm trying to figure out exactly where I'd like us to break. Realistically, I'd say we need to break over here, right around the $61 mark. We can see we have a lot of resistance, particularly back here. But currently, we do need to break out of this trend right here of around, you know, $58. I think breaking, you know, 58, 59, maybe even $60. Well, yeah, and that would make all that sense. So if we break 60, you know, $62, what I'll say, then I think that it'll be fantastic, right? I think we'll finally get that test of 70 again. Once we break that, we'll get that test of 70 again, and then all the way, you know, we'll test 80. And we'll see if we break through. And obviously, if we get to 80, we're in uncharted waters. We'll see where we'll go, and hopefully we'll just continue to run, right? Let's take a look at good old GameStop. GameStop up 12.74% on the day. After hours up just under 2% on the day as well. I mean, can't really ask for anything more, right? It's just too amazing. Ziptic says GME and AMC After in the after hours. I feel like another squeeze will happen very soon, especially when we hit $75. Right. So we'll have to see if we gamma squeeze. I'm a little curious to know if we will gamma squeeze, you know, tomorrow or maybe even Wednesday or something, just because we didn't have as many options expiring the money as people were hoping. So as you know, we did have around, I think it was around 11,000 options or 11 million, or I don't know if I said that right. No, I didn't say that right. It was 111,000 options. Yeah, so about 11 million shares that they're gonna have to do something with very soon. However, previously, whenever we did that previous game of squeeze, it was around just under 20 million. So we're about at half, a little over half of what we needed to do the move from last time. We'll see if it still has a move. I'm very curious. I can't really say with any confidence if it's going to happen. But either way, we still have some great bullish price action going on here. And hopefully it just continues this trend, right? That'd be fantastic. As you guys know, I did add those $5,000 on Friday. I added more to my position. Well, and basically what I did is one of my options was expiring. It expired in the money, and I took every single penny and I put it back into the stock on another option. And currently I'm in the money. I love it. I'm up. And so just to give you guys an idea of the power of the options, let me actually unlock this really quick so I can share this. Positions, you can see right here. So good stuff. So I'm definitely up right now in this option. Currently at 60, is this 6,100? Yeah, I guess I'm at $6,100, which is very nice. And I'm gonna hold this earlier today. I was up whenever the stock was up. I think it was up 20% on the day, and I was up 40% on my option. So as you can see, like the leveraging of the options is just beautiful. And as we continue to go up, I think this will just like run like crazy. And so I'm just looking forward to that. Taco Tuesday. Yeah, so we're going to talk about the short or naked shorting in just a second, because it was brought up on Fox today. Lee, thank you for hitting me up on the Discord, showing me that. It did inspire me to go on, on Reddit and take a look really quick and see what was going on in there. And I did find that there was a good video, a very good video about the naked shorting that we're going to take a look at in just a second. Sev, what is up? Oh yes, Damon, we're going to take a look about Charles Payne calling out the naked shorts. Diane came here to see what Diamond Backhand thinks about tomorrow's action, Tuesday. David, what is up? What is up? You heard it from Lee first. No más pantalones. No more pants. Brandon, what is up? How's it going? Table is going fantastic. You know how you know me, always doing very well. Felix, where do we see AMC going this week? So AMC, so we did break through that level of, I'm kind of curious if I'm allowed to ooh, whoops, let's put this back where this is, and let's see if I can kind of grab. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit here, but you know what? I do like where it's headed, right? Just so bullish. Like you can see right here, just kind of testing, right? If we did want to draw this, and granted, it does have all the touch points that we would need theoretically, right? But if we just want to give this a little more, I don't know what the word is, a bigger stress test, right? We would see how it reacts to this level of quote unquote resistance, right? And if we wanted to just move this up. Now, granted, we do have a few little levels in here, but I think if we break through this, I mean, if we get this, what Trey likes to call a boom boom candle, like if we get a large candle, right, large green candle, I think that we're going to come up here and we'll probably break right past through 60. And I think we'd probably go straight to 70. And maybe let me see where I think we would go. Yeah, we would probably go, test 70 or something, just under 70. And if we break through 70, we'd probably see 80, honestly. I'm not going to lie. Maybe a little resistance around 75, 74. Maybe, I guess we'll see, right? But yeah, so if we break through this, and this is what I'm going to be looking for, we do have a little bit of time left on the day. We have, obviously, 40 more minutes. So we'll see what happens here. If and realistically, I'll probably just end up scooting this up a little bit, just bringing this a little bit higher, just so it fits in this little bull flag. Still shaping that bull flag, and I'm waiting for a push up. And realistically, we're in the right place. We're setting higher lows, and I'm not really higher highs just yet, but these higher lows are definitely what we look for whenever you're looking at these chart setups, right? Hyped up. Diamond says open over a 60 tomorrow. That'd be sick. Lee says, Corey, you can't wear pants until after this during a stream until after the Moaz. You know what? I'm one step ahead of you, my friend. Mark Fullerton says, I'm a new ape. Welcome, my friend. 2 weeks now. Oh my gosh, baby ape, right? Don't worry, we'll put you on the back and we'll just I'll huddle along. You know, you huddle on and I'll huddle on too. I'll keep you strong. Kept me strong with the halt that happened. Yeah, here's the deal. You're hopping in the thick of it, right? And I'm glad you got to experience it, right? I guess you've been on for 2 weeks. Okay. Hey, so you know what? You got it in a good time. You got it in a very, very good time. You're sitting pretty, even though you've been in for just 2 weeks. I've been hodling on, and you know it's at $5, and it's like okay, something's gonna happen. Then I'm at $10. Like, okay, here we go. And so welcome. You came in at a great time. Welcome to the show. You earned your diamond hands real quick if you got in that early, or if you got in just 2 weeks ago, because you rode it all the way up. And then you rode it all the way down with this craziness. So this is trial by fire for these new apes to see if they earn their diamond hands, right? And you know, hopefully you earned your diamond hands and you held. And if you did hold, you know, I'm sure you're happy, right? It's easy to hold. I always tell people it's easy to hold when you're up, right? Whenever you see this green and you're feeling good, it's easy to hold. But whenever you start looking at your total position, how much you've earned, yada, yada, and then you're up here and then you see, oh my gosh, I lost, you know, X amount of money today. It doesn't feel so good. But at the end of the day, you have to see, okay, what is my total position? What do I think is going to happen? You know, have they covered, right? And I don't think they've covered. Look at the numbers, they haven't covered. Actually, speaking of the numbers, let's get those pulled up as well. We'll keep talking to the chat. I do want to talk about this video in just a second. Let's take a look at Ortex. Let me get logged in really quick. So this is the video we're gonna, oh my gosh, this video popped off today. No way. So this is the video we're going to watch right here in just a second, but let's take a look at good old AMC. I do want to take a look at GME also, because I feel like GameStop is getting ready for a move, and I want to make sure we talk about it. So we talked about this, right? Shares on loan. Shares on loan has gone down a little bit. Okay, we see this right here, 110.71. Okay, and that's no problem. This doesn't bother me one bit. Okay, because I know there are, I know there are naked shorts in the market. And I know there are, even if there weren't, right? Let's say for some magical reason, there's not these naked shorts, which I firmly, truly believe there are naked shorts, and my personal opinion. And even if there were no naked shorts, I'm still so bullish on these numbers, like ridiculously. Even Ortex has been obviously presenting the information. They've been presenting it I don't want to say neutrally, but relatively neutrally, right? They're just saying, hey, here's what it is. Here's how much the hedge funds have lost, yada, yada, yada. But not really any insight into anything. Whereas today, let's take a look at the Ortex Twitter, because today they did tweet and they said, or I think it was today. Beautiful. Well, let's read this one really quick, because you know I love it. AMC closes up 14.6% on the day, causing an additional $422 million for losses for short sellers for the day, for 1 day, and $2.43 billion dollars for the month so far. Almost $2.5 million for the month. We're 7 days into the month. We're 7 days into the month. Okay, so we are. Yikes is what I'll say. Yikes. Not looking good at all for them. Okay, let's go down here. They did tweet, and they were talking about BlackBerry. I feel like BlackBerry's probably going to go for, actually I think it's kind of been running, but I need to see what the short interest and stuff looks like for BlackBerry, if it's been going up or down, or which direction it's going. But because I feel like BlackBerry's getting ready for a slingshot as well. Same with GameStop obviously moving, and I think their numbers are getting larger and larger. And here was 9 hours ago. Let me see for the first one this morning. Okay, here we go. So I did appreciate the way they posted this. So after an overall gain of 83.42% last week, AMC starts the week up, strong, up 5% of the pre-market. Friday's intraday data suggests a decrease in AMC's short interest. However, it's still at 14.32%, which is historically very high. Okay, which I appreciate because, you kind of see these numbers and, maybe it seems a little more arbitrary or something like that. I read a comment and I just got Ginger. What is up? Yes, we're going to talk about that in a second. And I appreciate this. They said it's still very high. And yes, here's the deal. Did these numbers go down on paper? Absolutely they did. Now, does this mean everything is done with the squeeze to squoze? Absolutely not. Okay. And I just want to be crystal clear on that about my opinion about how it has not squoze, not even gotten close to squeezing, right? So keep that in mind. And then we're talking about this. Let me take a look and see if I can see anything on GameStop really quick because I'm curious. Actually, let's pull GameStop over here really quick. I want to see what the changes look like. Yeah, see, these guys are continuing to borrow more shares. This is going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. GameStop, I really feel is getting ready for a big move. But again, as we know, I feel like GameStop and AMC are going to move at the same time, right? And the reason they're going to move at the same is, they're going to have that bullish price action. I think that what is next for both of these stocks, if we don't get another gamma squeeze in one of them, then I think it'll be a margin call, right? Some kind of covering. Now, and I think they'll cover at the same time. I think BlackBerry, all these other stocks that are heavily shorted, that they're going to run at the same time. Now, the question is who's going to run the most, who has the diamond hands, yada, yada, yada. But whenever it comes to, what I do like is we saw last week that they don't necessarily move in tandem, right? And the reason they didn't move in tandem, I believe, is because of like a gamma squeeze or from last week, right? And I think that is, I think there's something there. I think that's pretty interesting how that works. So we have this. Okay, so let me play this video because I just want us to watch it really quick because I am like into what's going on. So let me make sure my sound is on and stuff. You guys can hear it. Desktop audio. Okay, let me play this for us.
Money for ultimately nothing that was delivered. The simple version would be if you and I, Charles, took our car title and Xeroxed it 100 times and sold it to 100 people and each of them paid us cash, but we only had one car. That would be a good analogy to what naked short selling is. In Texas, simple version, we call that stealing. So that's what naked short selling is.
Okay, and that would explain how a GameStop could see 140% of the float shorted because the same stocks were de facto borrowed or not borrowed again and again and again.
No doubt, and there's really multiple reasons for why it still exists. One is it's an enormously large problem, contrary to what some of the other financial press says. For example, in 1993, the fails to deliver were probably several $1 million. By 2003, those fails to deliver in the aggregate were about $6 billion. According to Suzanne Trembass's book, Naked, Short, and Greedy, which came from the source of the SEC, just in 2 weeks in July, the fails to deliver were $17 billion. So at the end of the day, another study that Dr. Rob Shapiro, former Undersecretary of Commerce, did many years ago, he's with Sonacon now, he did a study that showed that 500 million to 1 billion shares were not timely delivered, Charles. Now, to be fair, if you take that out 30 days, 60 days from when delivery should have occurred, that number goes to about half. But it is a systemic problem, and it's, go ahead, sorry.
So no, because I don't want to run out of time, and I've got a couple of other things. Hedge funds, we know, are big culprits. What's going to happen here? I guess let's cut to the chase. Will we see the SEC, will we see whoever's in charge take action on something that's happening, it's deemed illegal, it's harmful to the market? Will someone take action on behalf of individual investors?
I think we're seeing a sea change. The reality is, who's really doing most of this from where I sit? And if you look at the regulatory actions at sec.gov and FINRA, it's really the prime brokers. The reality is that there are some hedge funds, but it's the prop desk of the prime brokers who are doing the naked shorting from where I sit, or market makers. And so ultimately, they've got to be looked at. And the SEC has fined a bunch of them for mismarking tickets long when they're short, really, for pre-programming computers to say easy, hard to borrow stocks, easy to borrow. But ultimately, there is a movement and a sea change about, not only because of the litigation we've done for 20 years with our whole legal consortium, but because of these the Reddit groups and the subreddit groups, and frankly, more awareness being brought to this topic. Hopefully, also with the new SEC chairman, that I'm hopeful will do something more than what's been done to date.
Yeah. Gensler has made comments that gives me hope as well. Everyone knows the problem. We know it's all about money. It's all about Wall Street making money at the expense of an honest stock market, and that's why a lot of individual investors have shunned the market, and once they've gotten in, they become victimized by this. Wes, I wish we had more time. We don't. Congratulations, though. You've got a lot of people out there looking up to you and hoping that you can continue that 20 years worth of.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom. As you guys can see, it is just bullish, right? This is what's going on. And it's so, it just gets me so upset, and I don't want to. Everyone knows, I'm sure everyone has the same sentiment, right? Every single person knows that it's just not fair, right? It's what these hedge funds can get away with, right? They can get away with. Could you imagine if a retail investor tried to do anything at all like this? That retail investor would instantly be imprisoned. They would instantly go to jail. They would instantly, who knows, be liquidated. Who knows what would happen to that person, right? It's just, it's unbelievable. It truly is unbelievable. It's messed up, and it's a little disheartening, right? The good news is it does look like something is happening. It does look like some kind of change is happening, right? The first step is bringing it to light, making it known, bringing it out there. And actually, I think the person on CNBC, the lady, I forgot her name, but the lady who all the memes are about, and I think people watching that, all the hashtag, I think it's naked shorting, whatever the hashtag was that was trending, and that was a great first step. Big deal. Now, what's this guy's name again? Oh my gosh, what's his name? This guy, whatever his name is. Now he was given a platform, right? He's had his platform, but now he was able to really address it, right? And he was able to get, Wes on and talk about this. And it's Melissa Lee is the person. Thank you, Starfish. Yeah, and so that being the first step, now talking about this, and here we go. We're in the right direction. And on top of that, actually, who tweeted that? I think who tweeted it? Was it Joshua? Okay, so there are two things that happen. Number one, here we go. This is one of them. SEC says it's monitoring the ongoing volatility in certain stocks. Volatility in certain stocks. It vows to protect retail investors. Actually, I think there was also something that said something about. Oh, okay, here we go. SEC says they're monitoring ongoing volatility in certain stocks, on the lookout for manipulation and other forms of misconduct, aka naked shorting, right? Yes, that's exactly what I think was going on. And then there was this one. I guess that's what I was looking for. And also, yes, there was a. Let me see. Where did you send it to me? On the Discord. Let me pull up the Discord, because there was also naked short selling. I'm scared about what's going to pop up right now. News. Here we go. Okay. Copy link. Here we go. Lee to the rescue. Thank you, Lee. Boom. Here we go. SEC charges trading firm with naked short selling. Here we go. Today, right? These guys have been right here. Christian Smith and Jewell, law firm attorney. Okay, whatever it is. But is there not a link to it? I guess we have to watch the video, which we're not going to watch the video right now. But as you can see, this is being talked about, right? This is the first step. Things are being talked about. Everyone's going through it, and it's perfect, right? Things are starting to happen. I believe Gary Gensler is, he may not be an ape, but he doesn't want all the malpractice. From my understanding, thank you, Lee. From my understanding, he actually does not care for hedge funds at all. He wants, a fair market, yada, yada, yada. Now, we'll see if that's true. And for all we know, they've been investing it, and we're just like looking like, impatient apes, which, we are, right? And the SEC is already in it, right? They're already investing it. They're already getting everything ready. As we saw, we know the rules, the filings, all this stuff coming out with the structure of the market, structure of everything. So yes, it's just like, it's so beautiful. Charles Payne, thank you. That's his name. Charles Payne. This guy, Charles Payne. Good stuff. Like, with all of these things, being combined, like it's just being so fantastic. And it looks like there was another, I think she talked about naked shorting as well a little bit. But it's just a lot of exposure, which is exactly what the apes need right now, right? They need a bunch of freaking exposure. Let me get a sip of water. Hey, what's up, Johnny? Should I buy naked shares? I have AMC right now. I don't think you can buy naked shares, but you can definitely buy shares, which are probably synthetic shares, which is really good for the community. So if that's something you're interested in, then sounds good. PC, I lost more than 100K, so I'm hoping to make it back on AMC. I'm not sure where you lost 100K on, but that definitely can be rough. I can't even imagine losing that much. But hopefully, my friend, hopefully you recover. If you have enough money to put into AMC or whichever stock you feel like is going to run, and it does run, then you could definitely make that and then a little more. Snap says, dude, I only have 500 shares, average price of 24.50 ish. That's a great average. Look at you're up, you're double right now, right? Gotta be feeling good. David says, I'm ignoring BB and others. All my firepower is in AMC and GME. Same here, with the majority being an AMC for me. I do like BlackBerry as a company. And, this is what, and I've been saying this for a long time, so I apologize. But this is why I say I don't like the term meme stocks. Like, BlackBerry is not a meme stock. And I understand that meme doesn't necessarily mean meme. But, that's what I'll say. Oh my gosh. PC says, I found a great stock, TCAT. My friend TCAT, who made a bunch of money on TCAT? Was it Diamond? Diamond rode that wave all the way from the beginning. Snap says, I started with $8,000, now sitting on 120K. So it's solid returns, but I don't really care because I have 15K in cash from all of this. Right. And that's fantastic. And see me, I'm crazy because I would double down and double down and double down, which I've been doing basically. Any kind of profit I've made, I put it right back into the stock. And, luckily so far, knock on wood, I'm trying to retire. And I'm either going to retire, or I'm going to live the same life I'm living without any money. So it's going to be the same. It's either going to be retirement or same life. And I'm going for retirement because I think this is my here, not many people get this opportunity, right? Not many people get this kind of opportunity to believe in something so much, believe in winning the lottery so much that they put all of the money in it. And I'm trying to choose my words carefully because it's in my personal opinion, I feel like there's a bunch of, whenever I first got into AMC, I felt like there was only upside, right? The downside was basically non-existent just because I got in so early, right? And the downside is basically non-existent because of the way I felt like the stock was going to go regardless. And so in my opinion, I was able to put my entire savings and my 401k and everything into the stock because I figured, okay, well, I'm either going to make a whole lot of money or I'm going to make just a lot of money. And I'm so happy that I did because so far I've been right. And I'm just super lucky and very happy that that's the case, right? Joking says, is 200 shares enough? 200 shares, my friend, it depends on your financial situation. 200 shares, and if the stock goes to $1,000 or $10,000, whatever people, even half of what people are thinking it's going to go to, right? Then, can you imagine what, let's say $1,000, this is easy math that you think I would be able to do, but my brain is too smooth. $1,000 times 200 shares. That's life-changing money. That's life-changing money. Like, yes. Now the question is, all the different factors that go into it. Are they going to hold? Are the naked shorts going to be called out? Are they going to be forced to margin call? Are all of these things going to happen? I firmly believe that they will. The question is about the timeline, because the timeline is going to be everything. These guys, they've been kicking the can down the road for literally months. For over 6 months now, they've been kicking the can down the road, just waiting, and it's just wild. Mr. Dewitty says, just got off the phone with TD Ameritrade, and they told me selling my own shares should be no problem at any price. Okay, so that's good to know. So I guess TD Ameritrade said, if you want to sell your share at $200,000 a share, you're fine. So, and I guess that's good confirmation to have. But yeah. Troy says, I keep hearing people say to sell when the shorts cover, but isn't all of the data 2 days late? So if you wait for that data for the shorts to cover, you'd be too late. So Troy, that's a great point, right? And I'm happy I read your question, because they say when the sell. Now, of course, right? Whenever they're done covering, and there's no more synthetic shares for them to buy, and the apes, the stock's not really going up. It would only be really kind of going down at that point, unless the apes are buying and holding, or maybe even new apes continuing to buy, right? Then at that point, theoretically, right, yeah, if the squeeze is squoze, then it's time to do your exit strategy, right? And I know it's scary to talk about exit strategies because people are, oh yeah, diamond was TCAT. Yeah. Okay, I was like, I think it was a diamond, but yeah. But look, whenever the squeeze is squoze, it's going to be very hard, because everyone's going to be scared to be called a shill. Whenever the squeeze is squoze and it's done, time to exit. And that's okay. I've been holding for, 7 months now or whatever. And I'm ready to, I'm looking forward to the squeeze being squoze, me getting filthy rich, and hopefully, and being done with it. And then I can finally work on my other plays, talk about a bunch of the other things that we've been talking about in this channel for a long time, the other plays, and keeping your wealth, managing your wealth, and all this great stuff, And I think that it's important to know that, one day, hopefully, the squeeze will be squoze. Now, about the information, let's talk about this information really quick, because I think it's super important to understand and talk about. So, there's a bunch of different things going on with these numbers. Keep in mind, this is about 85% of the market of the information that is presented to us. But even with that, I don't believe this displays naked short position and those other naked short positions, right? We can't see what is hidden to us, what is not reported, yada yada yada. Now, with that being said, we're really not going to know when they fully covered, believe it or not. We're really not going to know when they fully covered. The only thing we could really hope for is these filings to be filed, DTCC, NSCC, all of this stuff. Hopefully the SEC gets involved, forces them to not be naked shorting anymore, forces them to cover their naked short positions. And hopefully that'll be on the news, right? Hopefully we'll see Citadel gets called out for naked shorting. They're being forced to cover, and they're covering their positions, and yada, yada, yada. I think once that happens, we're gonna have such bullish momentum, because some apes, I'm not sure if they're really apes, but some people are not really sure if they're naked shorts, right? And imagine if they told you, if for example, let's say the DTCC or whoever, SEC, they came out and said Citadel has been shorting. Their 3 billion shares. They're 3 billion shares naked shorted, and they're gonna have to buy back all the shares, right? At that point, this stock will skyrocket. Not only will it skyrocket, but at that point, I firmly believe that every single ape will hold, because they know that they can sell back the stock. That's how you get to $100,000. That's how you get to $500,000 per share whenever these guys are forced to cover, and everyone knows what they have to cover, like how much they have to cover. And at that point, these numbers won't even really matter, right? These numbers, I believe they will eventually, go down, go to zero, whatever. But at the same time, even if these go down, if they most likely, well, we won't know what happened with the naked shorts. It's very tricky to say, very tricky to tell, but definitely keep that in mind. Equinox, thank you so much for the super chat. Equinox says, if you were in the hedges position as of now, what would be going through your head? I'd be being my shorts. So here's the deal. If I was in the hedges position right now, I think I haven't. Gosh, I'm slacking. So hedges right now, I'm sure they are very, very, very scared. I think what they did is they've tried a few. I truly think they're stuck, is what I'll say. I think they are freaking out big time. I truly, truly do. And the reason I think that is because I feel like they tried to shake us. And by trying to shake us all this time, they've only been adding to their position, right? And now the stock has run up so far that they will not be able to. They're not going to win this. They're not going to positively exit their position at all. They may go bankrupt if the stock continues to run. I think these guys are in a terrible, terrible position. And I understand they took a bet, right? They took a gamble. They took a risk. They said, okay, one of two things is going to happen. We're going to shake everyone out. We're going to wait them out. We're going to make them leave. And they said, or we're gonna we're gonna have to leave. And I don't think they're betting on them having to leave, right? Because in the history of the entire stock market, basically the short sellers always win, right? And as we saw in this interview right here, he said they've been naked shorting since, I think it was 1993. They've been naked shorting. They've been doing this stuff, and they always win. You know why? Because I'm sure no one knew. No one big enough knew. Not enough people knew. And then, so I think they had millions in shorts or whatever, naked shorts or something in 93. He said like billions in 2003 and something like that. So as we know, this has been going on, right? And people keep referencing Toys R Us, how Toys R Us was a victim of naked shorting into the floor, into oblivion. And we have to keep in mind, right? And I want to be crystal clear on this, because especially with all the talks of naked shorting, just to be crystal clear, regular shorting is a natural part of the stock market. It shows, I watched an interview, and the lady said it shows weaknesses in companies. It also can show potentially show fraud in certain companies who seem like they're up on this big pedestal and they're doing fantastic, but it's a house built of cards, right? This is what happened with Enron. Now, not the naked shorting part, or that I know of at least, but Enron looks super strong, but it was a house built of cards, and it completely collapsed. It completely collapsed like you would not believe. Watch that documentary that's on Amazon. Watch that documentary, because you'll lose your mind. You will lose your mind if you watch that. And it's not the same thing as to what's going on, but once you see the kind of practices that hedge funds, that companies, that all these people can just do without any kind of repercussions, or for the most part, then it's wild. It's just unreal. I totally lost my train of thought. So I'm going to read the super chat, and then we'll see if it comes back. But Rakelso super chat, thank you so much, says, is 30 shares enough? My average is $12. Here you go, my friend. I'll just say this: 30 shares is, if that's what you can do, then that's what you can do. You have to keep in mind, you have to manage your risk, right? If you can't afford to lose this money, if you can't afford to lose all this stuff, then you have to see, right? Like, then, and it depends how old you are, right? If you're in high school or something, or college, and I here's the deal, guys. Like, I know I seem like I'm balling, but realistically, I just got I made some great trades. I mean, fan-freaking-tastic trades. I won't let anyone take that away from me. I made some great trades, which has allowed me to be so heavily invested in AMC to just exponentially grow my portfolio, right? I'm like most people here. I live paycheck to paycheck, and that's that, right? And that's how I was going to live the rest of my life, paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, investing in my 401k, right? Investing in it, and keeping that going. So I could retire, 65, 70, and that's how I was going to do. I was going to work until it was time to retire. And with this stuff going on, I mean, I'm definitely hoping on some kind of early retirement. And if it goes high enough, I mean, very early retirement is what I'll say. So yeah. So, but I let's say, what do you have? 30 shares. So let's just do 30 shares, right? Because you don't even need to say, first of all, you have a fantastic average. So I know you're doing well. And 30 shares, let's say you have 30 shares, and it goes to, and it's sad I have to use my calculator, but again, let's say 1,000, right? That's $30,000. Imagine what you can do with $30,000. And what something to keep in mind is, what if you don't need the $30,000 right now, right? If you don't need the $30,000 right now, then, or maybe you can keep 10 or 5 or something. And if you're going to use it for something good, if you want to keep 1,000 or 2 and go on a cruise and have a good time and, have a great vacation, that's great. But you know what, if you could take that $30,000 or $25,000, you can put it in an investing calculator, right? Find one of these investing calculators. And I don't know if this one's any good, but you can see, if I invested, let's say 30,000, and then you put, this money just grows, right? And you can see your rate of return. And granted, you don't, if you wanted it to be S&P 500 or something, you could put something like that, maybe 15 or something, and you can see how your money can grow. In 10 years, your 30,000 is now 188,000, right? And you're starting way ahead of everybody. So people need to keep in mind that the movie game is called Enron. I think The Smartest Men in the Room. Yeah, Enron, The Smartest Guys in the Room. Watch this. Boy, oh boy. Let me see if I can click this like this. There it is. Yeah. It is older. This is old. It's from, what year is this? Wow, it's rated pretty high and everything. 2005 documentary. Jeez. So it's 2005. Wow. So it's older, but it's crazy how it holds up, right? It's crazy. But anyways, yeah, take a look at these investment calculators and see what you want to do, see your goals. And, here's the deal. Give yourself some leeway. I mean, if you want to have, 10,000 or whoops, I did that backwards. But anyways, I was going to say, if you want to have $10,000 in a savings, rainy day fund, and that's your emergency fund, right? Keep $10,000, just put away. But do keep in mind that your money, right? I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, keep in mind that having money sit as opposed to being in the stock market is very costly, right? And, you know, I would tell anyone this: if you had $100,000 just in your bank account, right, ready to go, and it's sitting there getting 1%, you know, or 0.1%, whatever a bank is giving these days, I think it's 1% interest a year or whatever, in a savings account, and it's just sitting there. That is, I'm not a financial advisor, but I do not believe for 1 second that is a good use of that money. Okay. At 1%. Keep in mind that let your money make money. If you're not using your $100,000, you're not planning on doing anything, you can have that money growing in the stock market. It doesn't have to be in AMC. It can be in the S&P 500. The S&P 500, look at it over the past X amount of years, right? It's such a fantastic tool to be in, such a fantastic place to be in, that you can be in. Okay. Lee, thank you for the reminder. I see someone else, Brandon, also saying, don't forget about taxes. Taxes. Okay. I think it's called Tax My Tendies. Use the site taxmytendies.com, and I recommend, some people recommend it in different ways. I mean, and you can calculate how much you have in your state. You know, let's say I'm in Texas. You know, let's say, I make, let's say you make $20,000 a year. Let's say you make $40,000 a year, I guess. And then you make, let's say you have, 30 shares or however many shares, and, your average price, what's your average price you got in? Let's say you got in at $13. Then boom, what's your price target, and you can just become a millionaire or whatever. And this is what the stock needs to get to for you to become a millionaire after taxes. But keep in mind, it does the taxes here, does the tax rate and what's going to be calculated and stuff. And you can see these numbers, right? But do keep that in mind. Some people like to, as soon as they sell a position, they like to put that 30% or 40% or whatever, 50%, and put it away for taxes for whenever taxes come. I'm definitely not looking forward to taxes. I'm very scared about what it's going to look like, but hopefully I'm scared because I made a lot of money. Hopefully I haven't been doing a good job. Don't do as I say, not as I do. I have not been doing a good job of putting that money away just yet on my options that I've been making money on, and because I've just been reinvesting every single penny of these options. So I do need to make sure that I do that. Geez, Troy says, I'm feeling good. I'm still holding my 9,000 shares and sitting just above $500,000. I averaged $7 a share. No way. That's insane. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, right? That is so wild. Get on AMC before it hits mid 60s by tomorrow. Oh yeah. And that's a good point, right? People are continuing to be concerned or scared of which way the stock is going to go, and realistically, I don't think the price action has happened yet. And obviously, I wouldn't keep doubling down if I didn't believe in it. I'm very curious to know, when and if we hit, $200, will I be doubling down? Like, will I just continue to be going because I believe in it so much? And it's very possible that I will be. I mean, just to, if nothing else, to like show you that I really believe in it. I put my money where my mouth is. Like I said earlier, like, I'm not rich. I'm not like somebody who's making YouTube money or six-figure salary or anything like that, right? I'm a regular freaking guy trying to make it. And if I can do it, you know what, you guys can freaking do it. I will say the only thing that has held me back from making money is myself, my fear. But yes, as this person is saying, get in for as much as you can afford, right? Can afford to lose. Keep in mind, it's relatively risky. Now, relatively being the key word there, relatively risky. And I have to be careful with what I say, but just keep that in mind. It's relatively risky, and it could go either way. But you guys know which way I think it's going to go, which is why I keep doubling down. I mean, yeah. Khan says, suggestion, should I buy GME? What is the potential of GME? Khan, I would say that the potential of GME is relatively similar to AMC, right? Honestly, GameStop is actually theoretically more heavily shorted, right? And at one point, and this is how naked shorting was kind of proved in a way, because you have to keep in mind GameStop was short, it was over 140, I think it was 147% of the stock, right? Well, how are you short 147% whenever there's only 100% in a percentage, right? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So if there's only, for example, if there's only 1 million stocks, or let's say if there's only 100 stocks, how are you short 147 stocks? That doesn't make any sense. Naked shorting. And so theoretically, they do say that GameStop could go higher because of how short they are, and they were the original short stock where the short squeeze was a possibility, and yeah, so it's very possible. Now the question is, well, either way, I feel like both of them are going to be great. I don't think we'll really know who's going to go higher until the very end. I will say those in GME are probably very, very, very into the DD, very, very into what's going on. It's like a very cult following, which I respect. Those are apes. Those are apes. And whereas AMC being much more affordable, I feel like people can kind of, retail investors, not necessarily apes per se, can hop in and hop out and swing trade and yada yada. And I feel like they're more inclined to hop in just because of the price, right? Now, as it goes higher, we'll see if we're shaking those non-apes, but just different. I think it's going to be a mental thing, but I do think there's some kind of validity in there between how many shares there are, and you have to keep in mind it's different also because look how many free float there is according to Webull right here. The free float, how many shares there are available to trade? 448 million. Let's call it 400 million, 450 million. So 450 million versus 56 million. Okay, it's different stuff. Okay, they're kind of different, but I do believe they're both being naked shorted. Okay. Adol says, thank you for the super chat. I'd also add that GameStop's diamond hands are tested and proven. Yeah, I would say that. I would for sure say that. I guess that's what I was trying to say. I try to find, and here's the, I don't want to say like I'm trying to be kind of like a politician or something, but it's very sensitive. It's a very sensitive place, and most GameStop people really don't want to be looped in with the AMC people, or some GameStop people, I should say. If you've been on the Superstock subreddit, you've seen some conflicting, or just some a little more ape. I'll just put it this way: ape, don't fight ape. Ape, nice to ape, and I'll just say that. Can't we all just get along? But yeah. Velocity, this is a great question. Velocity says, what if I can afford to lose it, but it hurts my soul if it's lost? Velocity, that's so true. And I've had positions where, I think I had was it a BlackBerry play or Microvision or both, where I lost like $5,000, right? I had an option, it didn't print, and I lost like $5,000. And it hurt so bad. It really hurt. But you know what? Like, that unrealized, well, it became a realized loss at the end, right? But I had used money that I had previously invested and made a lot of money off of to put it in that position, and I lost it. So that's kind of rough. But even then, like, it's hard to say this stuff without me sounding like a crazy person or like I have some kind of gambling addiction or something, which I assure you I don't. Well, I might, but I don't want to fight. Like, here's the deal. $5,000 is a lot of money. I can do a lot with $5,000. I mean, any of us could, but if I had the opportunity to turn that $5,000 into $100,000, like, in my opinion, that's a good bet, right? If I truly believe there is a 50% chance that, and I'm not talking about 50% like, oh, I'm either going to win the lottery or I'm not going to win the lottery 50-50, because that's not how percentages work. But I mean, if there's truly, I believe that there's a, 30, 40, 50% chance, or even higher, that this is going to print and I'm going to make a whole bunch of money on it, and it's going to literally change my life, then that $5,000, while it's going to hurt so much to lose, it is worth it, in my opinion, right? That's kind of how I look at it when I look at options. I don't want to use AMC right now. Let's see what BlackBerry looks like as far as options go. Here we go. Here's a fantastic explanation, right? So let's say we have right here, this one. Let's say we have BlackBerry, right? Let's say I truly feel like BlackBerry is going to squeeze by July 23rd. If I'm like, you know what, there's a 70% chance that this is going to squeeze, right? Let's say that was my thought process. And I said, I think it's going to go past $50. No doubt, right? If it squeezes. So let's say I had this one. So in my opinion, if I think it's going to go past 50, right, I can do a $233 bet. And if it goes to 50, my $200 is now just under $800, right? And if it goes any higher, if it goes to, where can I go here? If it goes to, $59, my $233 bet is $1,700. So these are things that you have to keep in mind whenever you're looking at these things. It's how confident are you in it, and is it a good bet? For example, if this was $233 and I'm only going to make, if I thought it really wasn't going to go too high and I was going to make $100 on a $200 bet, I really don't like that too much, right? That's not too good for me. I'd rather do something else with that money probably. But if I really believe that at the very least I'm going to make some money, or there's a bunch of different ways you can think about it, but keep that in mind. Derek, thank you for the super chat. Derek says, hold on, let me do Furman first. Furman says, love your work. Can you please discuss at some point what might happen for GME specifically with regards to the meeting coming up? So as far as the meeting coming up, I don't know if there's any kind of true significance to what's going to happen in the meeting, because, like, for example, whenever the AMC meeting happened, right, we were anticipating they were going to say, oh, there's naked shorts, there's this, there's that. But you know what? Adam Aaron really wasn't allowed to speculate as to what was going on with AMC. He really wasn't, or he wasn't really allowed to legally. He can't really say, oh, there's naked shorts and this and that, from my understanding, right? Unless there's cold, hard evidence, right? You can't go around slandering people with something so serious whenever it's, without any concrete, bring it to the SEC and they're going to convict proof, right? So I just want to temper your expectations a little bit whenever it comes to that. But you know what? I feel like the GME, what GME has going for it is there's so much bullish momentum that, let's say the meeting isn't so good or nothing really so good happens, the apes are still going to love the stock. They're still going to love the company. And here's the deal. I'm rooting for GameStop. If you've been around, if you're an OG in the channel, if you've been around since the very beginning, you would know that I was not very happy with GameStop's management. And I'm not afraid to say it, because realistically, Adam Aaron, what was he doing? He was getting on all the shows and saying, yep, we're back in business, back to the movies, yada, yada, yada. And that was that. GameStop, they weren't, at the beginning, they didn't say, they were just radio silence. They weren't saying anything. But now, they've been doing this, right? I'm talking about the very, very beginning in January, February. But now they're like, hey, we're going to e-commerce. Hey, I think they're kind of teasing that NFT. Not really sure what they're going to do with that. Now they're talking about the LAN gaming centers. Now they're talking about this, that, and now their whole board of directors is revamped, and this and that, and Ryan Cohen. I mean, it's just like these guys are on it now, right? These guys are killing the game, and it's great. So now I'm kind of like flipped onto Adam Aaron, because I think Adam Aaron's been doing a great job. A fairly good job, fairly bullish. Those shares that he keeps releasing, I'm a little annoyed at. But you know what? So far, it's been okay. We're still doing pretty good considering. But now, what is AMC going to do? Obviously, I don't think the movies are really going anywhere, but what is AMC going to do to put themselves on the map, right? Are they going to, I would love if they did like VR movie theater experiences only with AMC, or they partner with somebody and do VR movie experiences. I don't know what it would be, but partner with like HBO or something is what I'm trying to say. But, that is what I want to see next. They need some kind of innovative thing. I think, in my opinion, other than their app. I mean, their app is cool, but everyone has an app these days, right? You can use Fandango or you can use whatever, but I don't have a gambling addiction, or maybe I do. Yeah, Angela, I said it. I said what I said. So yeah, that's what I think. So definitely keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Let me get a sip of water. Excuse me. Derek. Now, Derek says, super chatted, do the shorts need to cover naked shares? So, yes. If you are naked shorting, then you will need to cover, in the end, theoretically, you're going to have to cover those naked shares, right? Those shares have to be covered. And it's, again, if we go back to the example that was given in this interview right here that we watched, and maybe we'll watch it again in a second because it's just so good, right? The example that he gave is, if I have my truck, right? My truck, we all know how my truck, that truck, and let me tell you, I had to bring my truck to the shop today. It was awful, guys. It's been pretty rough. No, I'm lucky. It's all right. Stuff happens, but I'm very fortunate. So anyways, it's like if I have my truck and I started going to everybody in the neighborhood and said, hey, guess what? You own my truck. Give me $1,000 and you own my truck. So I give you my title, give you my title, and say, great. I'm just gonna hold on to the truck for a little bit, but whenever you're ready to collect or whatever, whenever you wanna drive it, let me know and I'll drop it on by. And then imagine if I just sold my truck to everybody. And now time comes where you're like, hey, okay, I'm ready to claim my truck now. I purchased the truck, it's mine. So I want to go ahead and I'm going to take it and I'm just going to sell it to somebody. And I'm just going to flip it for a profit, whatever you want to do with it, right? It's your stock, it's your truck. And now I say, well, here's the dealio. I don't have it right now. And so that person says, okay, well, you need to go get that truck back because I bought it from you. And I'm gonna say, well, here's the deal. I don't have the truck, but I will buy back the title from you. Okay, let me buy back the title. I'll give you what I paid for it, right? I'll give you the $1,000 back. And now that person says, well, no, I don't want $1,000. Like, if you give me, you have to give me $100,000. So I'm calling the cops. You're going to jail. Well, now I'm in a bad position. Now I need to give that person $100,000 or I'm going to jail. And that's essentially what's going on. These guys are in a terrible position. Terrible. And, hopefully I give this money back to this guy fast enough, or else guess what? He's going to say $200,000 and I'm going to jail. And imagine if I'm rich and I could say, all right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you the $200,000, but that's it. That's what's going to happen. But what's going to happen is the next their neighbor, who I also sold my truck title to, they're going to say, well, you give them $200,000. Well, I want $300,000. And that's what's going to happen. People are going to keep going up. And I'm going to have to pay. And luckily for you, for everybody in the neighborhood, I'm rich. I have all the money. And if I don't pay, guess what? the DTCC will pay for me. And so it's just, oh my gosh, it's a mess. But you know what sucks about being a retail investor is if I can't afford to pay, you know who's going to pay for me? Nobody. Nobody. I'm going to pay with my time in a prison, or they're going to sell my house for me and cover my position and then say, good luck, my friend. But it's just like lame. It's freaking lame. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Furman. Furman Hassan. I had a buddy named Hassan. Okay, so I've seen people doing this, and I just need people to be extra cautious whenever they're placing their options orders. I just noticed I accidentally bought a put today instead of a call. So this is the second person I've seen in the chat do this. So guys, be careful. Stuff happens. Now, if you're in that position, just a little thought, you know, how far out is your put? At any point do you think we'll dip and be in the money? And you'll be in the money and you can, you know, do whatever you want to do at that point. So do keep that in mind, because some people, they'll just sell instantly and get out. But, you know, here's the deal. I'm not going to lie. If we're teetering, let's say we had gone up, right? Let's say we were at 70 and we're kind of teetering. We don't know, you know, let's say we're in this, where we are right now is a perfect example, actually. We're at 55. You know, realistically, we're looking to break through this level of resistance. But let's say for any reason we don't break through and we falter a little bit and we test down here again at 45 or, you know, whatever it would be. Then, hey, maybe you can make a little bit of money and then you could sell down here, you know, your put or whatever, and then hop back in and hopefully ride it back up, right? Now, I don't recommend do what you want to do, but I'd be very careful trying to ride it both ways because it could be very tricky. You don't really know which way it's going to go. But if you do find yourself stuck in that kind of position, those are options for you. I almost knocked down my plate. I panicked. I went into karate mode. Buy the Tesla truck after this AMC. You know, actually, I've actually been looking at that new Ford, that Ford truck, the fully electric one. And let me tell you, I'm into it. I'm into it big time. I think it's called the Lightning. And I'm honestly considering getting that truck because it seems so legit. That's extortion, legal extortion. Here's the deal, guys. They can do whatever they want. Like, and as the apes, I mean, here's the deal. And imagine so back to my truck example about selling I did the illegal action, right? I was illegal in what I did, right? And so I would much rather pay than, I would much rather pay my, the fees that I can afford, no problem, right, than have anything else happen to me. And that's what's happening. So this is a great question. Wisco Bohunt? Yeah, okay. Says, how long does a short squeeze last? Wisco, that is an excellent question. It's so hard to say, right? I do have a video. Actually, the video I released, I forgot to release that video, and then I released it late, if you guys saw the video from last night. But anyways, basically, theoretically, it's hard to say how long it's going to last. I do believe it'll last a minimum of, I don't know, 2 to 3 days or something minimum. And then it could last, I would probably say, a few weeks. I mean, and this is a total guesstimate, right? It really depends on how they're being forced to cover, how many other hedge funds have to jump in, if they're able to find the shares. If people are holding and not selling, then it could last even longer. So there's a lot of different things. But I will say that from what I've seen before, it does seem like these. Okay, I read an article and I made a video about this. Well, I released it last night, so you might want to take a look at that one. But basically, it seems like a computer is going to take over the buying, right, for them. So the hedge funds are, they're going to be margin called and the computer is going to take over. And what is it going to do? It's going to start buying. So let's say all these people right here, one day they decide, all right, well, you know what? You're margin called. We're taking over. We're going to liquidate your assets and we're going to start covering. Congratulations. You lost. And what'll happen is it'll go here to the ask and it'll say buy, buy, buy. It's going to go buy, 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 buy. It's going to start clicking down very rapidly. It's going to start buying. And then, and so it's going to keep on buying until it's covered, right? Now, granted, it's a lot of shares. If it's true what people are speculating, I keep seeing the number 5 times the float for AMC. So that would be 2.5 billion shares, right? I saw one for 3. I've seen a few for 3 billion as well, as far as naked shorts that they'll need to cover. So basically, they're going to have to buy the entire float of AMC about 5 times. If this is accurate, I really can't confirm where they got their number from or anything like that. But what I can say is, it seems like that's what's going to happen. There's going to be an algorithm just kind of buying everything up, and there's going to be people selling, right? People are going to be selling all the way up and all the way down and everywhere in between. And the question is at what point are they going to be covered? So if no one sells, it's going to go much higher. If everyone sells, it's not going to go as high, right? Makes sense. They only need to cover X amount of shares. Let's say they only need to cover this many shares. And, if they start covering up and, if people are selling and they're meeting their quota, then boom, or that number goes down, right? And so let's say they have to buy this many shares and this is the stock price. Let me see if I can get a good camera angle. So they have to buy this many shares and here's the stock price. What's going to happen is they're going to meet, right? So now they can meet fast, or they can meet, slow, or, this one can drop very slow because no one, and this is going up, and then boom, this is drop very, very slow, and this will catch up, and then you're all the way here, $500,000 per share, right? And so you have to keep that in mind. It just matters how quickly they get through the supply. And if no one is selling, then they're going to catch up real high. It's going to be endless, right? How high it'll go. And that's why people say, is $1,000 even possible? Is $500,000 even possible? Boom. I did see a super chat here. Let's see. Can't Stop Won't Stop says, did you see Bazinga drop in the article saying it had... Oh, okay, I did see something about this. I did not save the article. I don't know where it is, but let me read this. Did you see Bazinga dropping the GME article saying it had a high of 13% at 282.44 when it was actually still at 171.24? 20 minutes early. Not the first time, right? This is not I actually did a video about this a while ago, and I showed the times and the articles. Holy smokes. If you actually, I wish I didn't have so many videos, kind of, because that video is so freaking relevant. It's truly unbelievable, because not only did that article, and I'm a true believer that happened and that there was true manipulation, because if you look at the time that the article came out in proportion to the dip, as well as whenever I Googled the dip or Googled the article, they had created a second article and changed the name of the first one so you wouldn't be able to find it. And the link went to the second article. There were two different links at the top of Google right here. There was one right here and one right here. And they went to the same link down here because they wanted to hide the first one. And it was already indexed by Google. So it was at the very, very top. And holy smokes. I mean, it was just so unbelievable that really, here's the deal. I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Like, even whenever these things are happening, these kinds of articles, I'm like, okay, well, what actually happened? Like, did they have the article ready just in case? Was it pre-typed? But you know what? No, like, these things it doesn't make any sense. If you look at the actual number, the timestamps, and then from my understanding, actually, whenever it hit that 280, what was it? 282 for the first time. From my understanding, let me see if I could put on the 1 minute candles, or oh crap, let me 1 day 1 minute candles. Where's 282? From my understanding, when it hit the 282, it bounced, it rejected pretty harshly. 282, look right here, you can see 282, and it did reject, and it rejected like this. Look at this. They had it ready to go. I mean, and you can't, and I think this is when the article was, but yeah, this must be, because this is the first 282 right here. Yeah, and it's just ridiculous how it was all ready to go. It came out at the, and you guys have to keep in mind, like, and here's the deal. I'll be the first to say like, oh, well, maybe they had it, like I said, maybe they had it published, maybe they had it good to go, maybe they're ready to go, yada, yada, yada. But you have to keep in mind, these articles need to be written, reviewed, edited, published, pushed to the website, you know, proofread, blah, 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 all the different steps that go into writing that article, like, has to be approved and everything. You know, it's not like they're, so it's just wild. It's like, it's something else is what I'll say. It is something else how that magically just happens. What trading platform do I use? This is Webull version 4 for the desktop. I have a link in the description if you want to use it. If you use that link and deposit $100, you get two free stocks. I get a free stock. Everybody wins. But personally, I'm trading in Fidelity. I have the majority, 99% of my shares are in Fidelity. I do have $10,000 in here. Dang, you know what? And I didn't put $10,000 in here. I put maybe, I do well. I do very well because I only put, how much did I put in here? I put like $2,000 in Webull, and I'm at $10,000 right now. So I'm doing a great job trading. Dang. Wow. I'm doing a good job, guys. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. DPG says next stream you're busting out the flash shirt when the stock explodes. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. Velocity says, so what you're saying is, not financial advice, don't sell all sell at once. Don't all sell at once. Right. Now, yeah. Here's the deal. Even after I think the thing is closed, I will still continue to leave one contract and one, or you know, and a few shares, right? I'll leave some shares and some contracts just in case. I don't know why I would leave it in, but just in case. I'm sure I'll probably leave something in, just like for something crazy. Neil Tendis says, Corey, you should put together a need to know DD playlist with some older relevant vids to lend some wrinkles to some new apes. I do have a playlist actually on the channel for DD as I upload new videos that I consider to be DD. I think I try to put them in there, but hopefully I've done a good job with that. I haven't really reviewed it and edited it, but it might be a good playlist of DD in the thing. Beverly, what is up? Welcome. Hamza says, after I sell, I'm making a music video. Hamza, I would love to be in your music video. I got the Arab money. Oh my gosh. I see you. Sorry, yeah, 280. Oh, thank you. Can't stop, won't stop. Star was at 282.24 is when they said they hit it. 12:11 p.m. 12:11. What? Oh, 282. They said it back here. 12:11. I'm assuming Eastern. Or is it 12:11? Yeah, it would have to be Eastern. Unreal. Unreal. Oh, we closed. Okay, let's see how we closed that. So it looks like GameStop closed right here, 1.82% up in the after hours. AMC closing. Here we go. This is what we like to see. Up 2.18% in the after hours here. Let's take a look at the 5-day really quick. And so, yep. We'll see if we test this, right? We'll see if we test this. even in here, we have a smaller microscopic, I would say, level of support. If we were to go up here in this angle, I'm not really going to draw it just yet because I like this a little more macroscopic, just because we'll see what happens. But yeah, feeling good about this 100%, 100%. Marty McFly says Trey is very confident for a June squeeze on AMC. What do you think? You know, I'm a lot more conservative, I would say, than Trey. I do feel like everyone is very, very, very bullish on a June squeeze. However, you have to keep in mind that in June, I mean, you have to keep in mind the hedge funds are watching, right? Now, hopefully there are enough catalysts that they can't do anything to stop it. Personally, I've been buying most of my options for September. However, the one I did just purchase is for June. Or is it July? No, I think it is June. Let me see my option that I purchased. My option is for June 25th. So I'm very bullish on June. So don't get me wrong. But I guess we'll just have to see what happens. And the reason I like to get them for September is because I want to be super, super, super safe, right? About the time. You have to keep in mind, these guys have been kicking the can down the road for 6 months so far. And we'll see if they continue to keep on doing it, right? We'll see if they keep on kicking the can down the road. Remember, they're trying to discourage people. What better way to discourage people than not have and I'm not trying to shield anybody. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but keep in mind, you have to get in their head a little bit. They're going to try to keep us down. They're going to try to shield us. They're trying to scare us. This kind of movement like this, this is rough, but look, we did double bottom here, and hopefully we have a nice little bullish reversal, and hopefully we test 100 next, right? Tuesday. Tom, here's the deal, my friend. I'll tell you, I don't mind differing opinions, but I would like some kind of DD, some kind of proof, some kind of something, and so you'll find the chat they're pretty chill. They're unhappy whenever you say something not favorable toward our favorite stocks. I mean, I don't think you can blame them, but we prefer some kind of DD. Say, look, I don't think this is going to happen because XYZ, historically XYZ. You have to keep in mind this is an unprecedented event. There's never been. Here's the deal. I think naked shorting's been happening. Shorting is obviously normal and regular, but whenever with this kind of thing, they've never been caught right with their hand in the cookie jar, and their hand has been caught in the cookie jar, right? If you believe there's naked shorting, which I truly personally do believe there's naked shorting. If you look at the DD, I mean, I've been in the thick of it for a long time, my friend, and I've had Austin A. Tobit on here, going through everything and all the failure to delivers and this and that. There's a lot of things that make me bullish on this stock going nuts. But yeah, I mean, just keep that in mind. Just we'd like some good info. These are the people living down in AMC. Should we sell puts? Tom, I'm gonna let you make that decision on the puts and stuff. I'm just I'd be very careful. As Adam Aaron says, don't bet against me. I don't know what he said, but he says I like to think it's not a good idea to bet against AMC. He goes, it's not a good idea to bet against AMC, and I like to think it's not a good bet to bet against Adam Aaron. He talked about himself in the third person. You know who does that? Freaking bosses. No, but Now, here's the deal. Whenever the stock, let's say the stock is at $10,000, you know, $100,000, whatever it's going to go to, you know, I think a put could be profitable theoretically, right? As long as the apes don't hold, right? Which apes seem to like to hold. But, you know, that's going to be a very good, interesting thing to see, right? If what happens. But I'm going to play right now. I'm very bullish. I'm only thinking about calls in the future. We'll see, maybe puts in the future. But I'm too much of a bull. I don't like puts at all. I never play puts just because I'm too much of a bull. I always think the stock is going up. I see Lee here saying, should I sell naked, naked stock? 15K to buy AMC. Lee, I really can't tell you what to do, my friend, but I did liquidate all my other positions to go heavily into AMC because now we're really seeing some movement finally. And so I wasn't sure which one, I figured in the meantime, I could probably make some money over here, but in the end, realistically, my best money maker, I would have made a lot more money if I would have just gone all in earlier and liquidated my other positions earlier, right? Now, granted, be very, very careful with doing something like that. You always want to manage your risk. And this is how you can hedge your bet, right? Now, in hedging, meaning if AMC, doesn't go as high as you'd like and the other stock is going up, well, then you probably should have been in the other stock, hedging your bet or whichever way you want to go. Or if AMC goes down on the reverse, right, and the other stock is going up slowly, but AMC is dropping, then that's hedging your bet, right? Just making sure you maximize your gains without losing too much profits, right? Like you just want to be super steady. Make sure you're not losing too much. You won't gain as much, but you won't lose as much theoretically if you hedge properly. Now, so I just want to put that out there. Personally, I did liquidate all my other positions because it was like, what? If I think I can make over 100 times return on my investment, over 100%, or let's say over 100% of my investment, right? And I know 100 times is 100% is different, by the way, because I know I'm going to get yelled at. If I was, what was I saying? If I thought that I could double my money with a stock, I would hop into that stock, right? And with AMC, I feel like I could personally at least double my money if I hop on this stock. Whereas the other play I was in, I felt like I could gain my money in a few years, but I don't think it's 100%. It wasn't going to be as fast as AMC. So theoretically, I was like, you know what? I can hop out and hop back in and hop out with, at the time it was $8,000, hop into AMC, double my money, which I have a lot. And now whenever I go back, I can put twice as much back in this stock because that I'm bullish on, that I think is going to pay me very well because I made such a good bet with AMC. And so those little plays right there are really working well for me. Is what I'll say. No puts will lose money. Call options. Eric says, Corey, you think call options are expensive? Look at the puts. Oh gosh, I haven't even looked at puts. I really haven't even thought about puts. Let's see. In the money. Oh my gosh. Man, even with such a close strike, unless you go all the way down here, which I really don't think this would print. Man. Puts. It's so weird. I like to go going down to see the calls, but got to scroll up for the puts. Yeah, this is expensive. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm not really into puts. Anyone who's been around here, but we'll see. Raquel says, can I buy your truck for $1,000? I mean, I'd be more than happy to, but I couldn't sell you my truck. I'd get a lemon law violation or something. I just can't. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. We haven't looked at the tops for the day and the top gainers for the one day. Just like Eric over here says, what's your thoughts on RMED? Heavily shorted. It had a gamma squeeze today. Very, very interesting. So let me see if there's anything else I recognize. Clove I recognize. BNGO I recognize. Oh, MindMed. But let's take a look at this one really quick. Oh my goodness, let's look at the 5-day. This stock has been moving. What are we, from $3 all the way to $9? So pretty big moves. Now the question, and you know, wow, this is a big day. Oh, this is a short amount of time. This is went from, let's see, at the beginning of the day, $4.30 to $7. Had some big moves, but look at these retracements, right? It's hard to say what the stock is going to do. I mean, I really haven't looked at the short interest or short all the short information on this, but I will say I like looking at these kinds of stocks because there's opportunities to be made, right? Even opportunity. Let's say we were looking at AMC again, and what I'm getting at is a retracement, right? It ran up a few days here. I think it's going to be due. It may run again, right? But I think it's going to be due for a retracement one of these days. Whenever you get those kinds of retracement, especially after it's ran, you know, $4 to, you know, $9, that, and this is over the course of 2 days, keep in mind. Usually you get that retracement, right? And once you get that retracement, you can have something like we had for AMC, where it retraces this far. And this is an opportunity to make money, you know, on certain stocks. Now, you don't know when the retracement is going to come, but, you know, definitely, and you know, this could be a buying opportunity for a dip. Hard to say exactly what's going to happen with that one, though, just because I'm not really too versed on it. Lee says, after the Moaz, I was wondering if buying puts or selling puts would be a good idea on the way down. You know, here's the deal. Like, realistically, right? If the stock is at, like, here's the deal. What do you think AMC is going to be at in a year, right? If you know, let's say the squeeze just squoze and it's all done, you know, we went to 10,000, you know, realistically, I don't think the stock is going to hold $10,000 forever, right? And so theoretically, sure, a put would be great, right? If you want to make some money on the way down. But what if it's not done squeezing, right? If you do buy a put, you'd have to buy it probably pretty far out of them. I would buy it personally if I were doing it. I would buy it pretty far out, you know, January or something. I'd buy it, you know, just in case the apes keep holding, right? But you're gonna have to keep in mind that this is gonna be super expensive, and you're gonna have to say, okay, is it worth it, right? Is it worth it? And then you got to go back down. And how low is it going to go, right? Is it going to go to, is this at $5 already? See, I just don't like puts at all. Like, you can't even make that much money off of this. So I got to spend $2,000 to hope it goes back down to, you know, this is a $50 one. So like, for example, if I was going to hope it was going to go down to $20, right? On my $2,500 bet, I'm gonna have to spend $2,500, and if it goes to $20, I'm only gonna make $300. Like, that's not the kind of gains I want. Like, this is risky, and it's not a good risky either. I don't like this at all. So yeah, keep that in mind whenever you're looking at these puts. You know, I don't like it. Kathleen says, how much is the $140 strike? Okay, let's talk about calls again. I like some calls. Now, I guess that depends on when you're talking about, but the $140 strike right here looks like $172. So, yeah. Ooh, but these print big time. Ooh, gives me a chill. These are very pretty. Bren says, hey, I bought some June 18 $55 calls for $17.75 last Thursday. Do you think I should roll it now? How would you cash out in that type of position? So for something like that, if you have a call that's you know, in the money right now, printing pretty well for you, then you know, you have to think, okay, you have to look at the levels of support, resistance, which way is it going to go, see if it breaks through, if it's going to be bullish. But you have to keep in mind that right now, you know, let's say tomorrow, let's say we do a crazy move, right, up 100%, and, or, you know, we gamma squeeze or something, we do something crazy. Now, if we do that, then personally, I would personally rather either exit there, or you have to see like what are the chances we end in the money again for the next week, because you have to keep in mind you're running low on time if that's the case, because you're going to have this Friday and next Friday, right, to make a decision. And it's going to be gamble. What if they heavily short it next week, and they do, what if it does really well this week, and you're like, oh, what's going to go even higher, and then you hold it for next week, and then it goes down, and then you're not in the money anymore. You have to keep that in mind. Personally, if it does gamma squeeze tomorrow or something, I would probably personally exit my position. Even this position right here for June 25th, I might exit and then collect quick profit, and then maybe hop back in again. I mean, I'll just have to see which way it goes, And if it doesn't happen this Tuesday, then maybe I hope for next Tuesday, or maybe I'll look at having a floor and exiting at break even rather than something like that. You have to think about your possible exit strategies. And I know it's hard. Here's the deal. I know anything about options seems a little scary. But me, I just don't want to lose money on my option. If I'm down a little bit, I'll hold, no big deal. But keep in mind, if you're super high up, just have your floor or something. Now, as far as what was I gonna say? So yeah, I'll just say that. Kathleen says I'm a dumb ape. I just buy AMC, stonk, and hold. And you know what, Kathleen? Respect. There's no problem at all with buying and holding. That is the way. That is the way. On puts to view. Oh, it keeps starting you on puts. Make sure for me, I mean, it stays on whatever you last clicked on, but it should start puts. And I think you can hide puts. Can you hide puts on here? Oh, okay. I guess you can't hide puts. Maybe I'm thinking about the mobile app of Webull. CCIV is the best short I can find right now. Matthew, you're going to be a millionaire regardless. I like your fashion style. Thank you, Matthew. I think you're talking to me. So, okay, this is what I was going for when we were talking about the puts a little bit, right? Matthew said, or not Matthew, Marty McFly says, could AMC just hold its new high share price like GME has done for the last 6 months? And that's one of the reasons I would not want to do a put, right? I have no idea if it is gonna if it's gonna go down. And if it does go down, I mean, if it doesn't go down, then guess what? Your put is now gonna expire worthless. And on top of that, you could be out, $1,000 or whatever it's going to be. This one's only for here, but if you bought it a few months out just to be safe, this one right here is going to cost you $2,300. And if you're out, then you're out. If it doesn't drop all the way, down here, you're out. And if it does drop this far, it's not a good bet for me. I'm not going to spend $2,300 to hope it hits $28 and then make $300 on a $2,300 bet. It's not a good bet for me. I don't like it. I don't like puts. I'm not a bear. I'm not a bear, is what I'll say. Kathleen says, I feel like I'm missing out on major dollars because I don't know how to buy calls. I'm hoping straight stock is best, and I will have to learn options after we go to the min. Kathleen, if you don't mind, please take I think it's like 12 minutes long. Take a second to watch my options video, buying options on Webull. I go through how to buy them, how to make money on them. It's so easy. I think people are very scared of options, and it makes sense to be scared of options, right? Like it's kind of a use it or lose it type deal, right? You win big or lose it all. And it's not necessarily that cut and dry, but I would take a look. Take a look at the video, and I think it'll help you like options. Options are a fantastic way to leverage your money. It's like, it's really great for some people who only have, you know, X amount of shares or X amount of dollars, limited amount of dollars. Then I usually recommend seeing if you can do something like options, because options they're risky though. You have to be very, 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 very confident that you're going to be right. Otherwise, you're going to lose. And the way I like to be very right is I like to buy them with a higher premium further out of the money, right? Further, you know, instead of, if you think it's going to squeeze before January, then buy them in January. It's going to cost a little extra, but you can make a lot of money with that. And I have made a lot of money with that. I bought my AMC contracts, my first ones that I bought, they were all the way for January. I bought them early last January for 2022 January, right? And yeah, so you can still make a lot of money on it. But watch that video. I think it'll really help you. But calls, yeah, at this point on AMC, calls are kind of getting a little crazy. Their implied volatility is just way so high. It's super high. I'm in puts again, and I hate it. Their implied volatility is getting super high. So just keep that in mind. It's getting expensive to buy these, which is crazy because these were so cheap before, and now with the stock being so volatile, it's just super expensive. Corey, what's the top trend line? So this is kind of a descending level of resistance that we have here, and an ascending level of support. So we're kind of in this little wedge that we're looking to break out. It looks like we're going to be very close to breaking out. It depends how it goes in the morning. I'm really hoping we see a nice, solid green candle, a huge green candle right here. And hopefully that large green candle will set us up for success to test 77, 80 bucks tomorrow. Or maybe we'll gamma squeeze, right? We'll have some kind of crazy move, and hopefully we'll hop up. Tariq, I believe Tariq. I think it's Tariq. Hi, first time caller. Welcome. What is your price prediction for tomorrow? Oh, so I guess I was kind of just explaining that, huh? And so realistically, I would love for us to break through here. If we break through here with a solid candle, I think we'll probably test. We'll have to get through 60. And so if we break through here, you know, what is this? 55, 56, sure. I think we'll test 60. But once we break through 60, we'll test 70, I believe. If we were able to break through 60, I think we'll probably just go straight to 70, as long as it supports and it holds. And then we'll probably go straight to, if we pass 70, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It looks like we have 75. And once we pass 75, obviously we're in uncharted territory. It could really go either way, but that's what I would personally love to see. Now, realistically, if we don't break through this, then I'm going to look for a bounce on this ascending level of support, and hopefully it'll bounce up here. You know, hopefully it really doesn't go here, but I mean, if it were to bounce, hopefully it would bounce around, you know, 45, 46 bucks or something like that. And realistically, I mean, they'd really have to do some crazy price action in order for it to bounce off of here. So I'm pretty bullish, especially with how it's been kind of this like, even this retracement is pretty solid from all the way down here. It's a super solid retracement. So I'm pretty bullish on tomorrow, especially as being Tuesday. Diamond backhands always talking about Tuesday is the day, and I agree with him. Tuesdays are usually pretty phenomenal. Wednesday, we'll see what happens. As you know, the other day, I think Wednesday is the day it ran crazy with that gamma squeeze on Wednesday. So feeling good about it. AMC puts and calls are very expensive. Yes, they are. Lee says, Corey, drink on your own time. You have a whole river behind you. Yeah, you're right. Lee says, I made 5K on the $40 strike for June 18 weeks ago. Yeah, same. You know, I made that much money, and that money, guess what I did with it? It's right here. That $5,000 I put back in here. And that $5,000 was, I think I turned $1,000 into $5,000. And that $5,000 now is at $6,000. And I think it's going to print. I'm trying to turn this 5,000 into 15,000. That'd be nice. Corey needs a new truck. Yeah, see, Landshark got their BlackBerry calls, $13 calls for January, and look at that. You're probably doing pretty well right now, huh? And especially with the movement that it's been having, I feel like it's going to break out soon. I mean, I really do. I think once it breaks, 16 or something, you're going to be back up here. Yeah, I feel good about that. You could even call it 17 to be safe, but I think once you break 17, I mean, you're just going to run. You're going to be up here in this craziness, which would be very nice. Animal is probably listening. Liz says, do you have any thoughts about BAM Investor? I haven't seen too much about BAM Investor. I did see him on Trey's Trades whenever Trey got kind of, he got, his computer died, whatever happened. I'll say this. I really don't know too much about him. But it seems like everyone kind of considers him an ape and everything. So respect. But on Trey's stream, it kind of seemed like he was trying to promote his own platform. It sounded like a sales pitch for his platform. So I'll just say that. But, what do I know? I mean, I'll just say I don't know much about him. That's all I've seen. But everyone else seems to really like him. He seems to be super bullish on AMC and Ape, finding some good stuff. I'm not sure if he's done super good DD or anything, but I'd be the one time I saw anything like super, I guess relevant on him when he went on Trey, he was kind of promoting his platform, which is just kind of weird, but it is what it is. I can't say I blame him, Lee says AMC will be a good $20 to $30 stock when things are normal. Yeah, but I do wonder if it'll hold. Like, for example, I wouldn't be surprised if it ran up to whatever it's going to run to, and I wouldn't be surprised if it came down and it just kind of held at 55. Like I really would not be surprised if this stock just held 55, like after the squeeze and everything. And whatever happens. I mean, just because even GameStop, here's the deal though. We do know people are holding GameStop very strong. They're just holding. And we've seen different levels of consolidation and stuff. But even then, people just like to hold. I'm holding. Poor Lee is actually, okay, I got you. Joe, where's Joe? What did Joe say? Placers for the moment. Oh, thank you, Landshark. Landshark subbed. Oh yeah, there you are, right there. Boom. Thank you everybody for subbing. By the way, whoever subbed today, I appreciate it. Matt is a programmer who lost his job and decided to earn a living on YouTube. Oh, is that Matt? What Matt? Oh, is that BAM Investor? Or is it Matt Kors? Let's see. Animal says, I only trust Jackson, Trey, Andrew, and the man of the hour, Corey. Thank you. I don't trust Matt Kors or Ask Kevin, or I think it's Meet Kevin. Yeah, here's the deal. Meet Kevin. I do like that he's hopping all in on, or he's not all in on AMC. I do like that he put a lot in on AMC because I feel like he's going to bring a lot more apes to the movement. Now, that being said, I feel like Meet Kevin isn't necessarily an ape. I feel like he's trying to ride the momentum. He knows that there's an untapped market that he does not have, or he doesn't have the majority of, at least, or partial of. He's trying to jump into this market of the apes and drive this momentum. I'm sure he saw how quickly Trey grew, and he's probably trying to grab some of that market share of subscribers and stuff. But at the same time, it benefits the movement, in my opinion. Now, the only thing is, those apes aren't necessarily diamond-handed apes. They're people riding in the momentum, but hopefully it'll still be bullish. But Matt Kors, I think Matt Kors is doing a fantastic job, but he has kind of shifted over to AMC whenever he was only GameStop. But I mean, it is what it is. I respect Matt Kors a lot. Meet Kevin, ask him the same thing. Thomas says, anyone have an idea what the catalyst would be to start moving AMC in the upside? I think we're gonna have to see if there's any kind of bullish something. If something happens, more naked shorts on the news, more people like Meet Kevin, and actually I think Stephen Graham. He's looking to add to his position. He talked about AMC, and will AMC go high, and if he gets 100,000 likes or something, he's going to drop $10,000, or he's going to drop something into AMC. So hopefully, like, those kinds of people, those kinds of action, maybe a gamma squeeze will be great catalysts. But I really like where we are right now. But yes, okay, that is what I have for you guys. I'm gonna start wrapping it up. But thank you guys so much for the new subscribers. Welcome, my OGs, freaking fantastic. And that's that. Hologram says, if you missed out on AMC GME, hop on the Express. Hop on. Oh no, I wouldn't recommend. I thought you were gonna say hop on earlier, sooner than later, but. Not sure I like that play. I don't know what that play is, but do your own DD. All right, guys, I'm heading out of here. I will catch you guys later. You guys have a fantastic night. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we see some tendies, Tendy Tuesday. You guys have a fantastic night. Peace.